Well, 100%.
I want to touch on something,
Yeah.
right, please? Because I mean, again, I think this is extremely relevant, right? And that is the portion where you mentioned that you believe our country's got a lot of healing to do, right?
Yes,
And
absolutely.
and I mean, I think everybody agrees, to be really honest. The thing is, and I'm going to try and phrase this the best way that I can, it's this constant to and fro of backwards, forwards. You get what I'm saying? Because it's like we're shifting our focus towards the healing part, and it's difficult because it needs to happen. But how does that fit into moving forward? Do you get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And what does healing look like? What does that actually mean? And I want to put a bit of a extension to that. How do we actually heal? You get what I'm saying? And that's what I'm saying. I'm trying to phrase this right, because all of us agree this needs to happen. But how do we actually do it?
Yeah.
Because we can't sit here in another 60 years and say again, our country needs healing. And if it takes 60 years, then it takes 60 years, right?
Yeah.
I'm not going to put a time to it. What I'm trying to say is, at some point, we need to say, okay, but how do we heal? Because otherwise, that's going to be a key focus point. Ultimately, here's, if I can put what shall I say, a euphoria solution. Ultimately, everybody wants the country to heal so that we're healed and that we can move.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying?
Do you want to add something?
Yeah,
there, Daniel?
and for me, to be honest, Darbu, I think there's a big group that feel exactly how the three of us feel here, especially the ones that establish their businesses in our country, that's sitting in key positions like yourself, that really want to, that's over all these nonsense that's happening. It's almost like, listen, guys, can we forgive whatever, or not even to say we listen, we forgive. We all, both me and Stefan, and the three of us are Christian, and that we believe in forgiveness.
Yeah.
And, yes, that's our hearts, and we forgave. Me and Stefan had numerous discussions around this. Listen, what happened into our country, and we didn't have influence in whatever happened. We're the byproduct of maybe our grandfathers or whatever. But we didn't have any intent with what happened in our country.
Yeah.
And what we want to do is we do understand the principle of we cannot do anything what happened. But what we can do is we can have influence towards the future.
Yeah.
And we can have conversations like this to say, listen, but okay, how? And that's exactly what we're doing here is how do we do it? And I believe, and this is purely, and this is the reason for us, doing this podcast, is to enable the people to either reach out to us and speak to us, or to say, okay, but listen, I've got a good idea. And to challenge, almost because I believe there's a big part of South Africa that, and especially young professionals, that feel exactly the same way. Because the ones that doesn't feel this way is not in our country anymore.
They've left.
They set up the corporate structures and everything in London and all that stuff. So the thing is, and we're calling them to come back. Me and Stefan, that's our first,
that's your first program.
episode.
Caused havoc.
Yeah.
It caused a lot of havoc.
Look, it is what it is.
I've got a lot of some of my best mates are living overseas.
But listen, it struck a chord. I sent DáNiel. DáNiel said this: "We're pinching nerves, brother. We're pinching nerves."
That's it. It's the South Africa. Listen, and I'm not going to go into the rude stuff that we said there, but the matter is, it's left to us. I'm not going anywhere. Yes, we're building international businesses. You've been international, but you're sitting here. You applied. Obviously, you learned a lot overseas.
Yeah.
Applying that knowledge and the thing is, we're not against going overseas, but yes, just come back. Look like Rob Burshoff. I think it was 20 years. I'm not sure. I can be incorrect on my numbers there, but he was majority of his time he was overseas, and now he's coming back because of the love of the country. And maybe it wasn't his pure intent, but the thing is, it's applying whatever you learned to bring it back to our country, to build this country, because obviously
more than happy with that.
We want to. Let's say,
No, more than happy with that. Go and learn. Yeah,
Listen,
sure. We can bring that back.
Yeah.
Bring it back. Let's build the country. Let's have all these nonsense that happened. Put it behind us.
Yes.
Let's work towards a unified future.
Look, I think
A quick comment on the healing.
There's a very important thing, right? So I'm into hip hop, so I like hip hop music. So there's a very famous
you and me both.
hip hop artist called Sean Carter or Jay-Z.
Jay-Z.
In his album 444, there's one song where he has a line where he says, "You can't heal what you haven't revealed." So before anything gets healed, it needs to come to the surface, to the attention of the
need to see
patient
it.
or the doctor or whoever needs to attend to that pain or that suffering to be remedied. So as a nation, I'll say we had a pilot of healing, a pilot test with the Truth and Reconciliation Commission, right, or the TRC. That was a pilot to say, here are victims, here are perpetrators that went through pain and apartheid, and here they are having a conversation, and people are owning up to hurting, killing, doing all sorts of atrocious things to other human beings. And that was done for the nation to see. So to me, that was like a very nice pilot test of what healing could look like. Now, take that pilot and then you say, we've done this pilot, the nation has healed. That is a lie, right? We all know that. So to say the TRC was supposed to be the silver bullet for the nation and we are now a rainbow nation that's all happy, dancing, kumbaya, that is a lie, right? It's not a malicious lie because the TRC was well-meaning in its intent, but its scale was ineffective because it didn't reach everyone. And even the people that were in the TRC, some of them were insincere. Maybe some of them did it for selfish reasons because they didn't want to go to jail. You know, some of the black families went there that lost loved ones and they're like, I just want to see this person, but I'm not going to forgive him. God will forgive him. You know, like those things happen because it's human nature. But the healing piece in my mind comes with different hats. Number one, there's the victim and then there's the perpetrator, right? The person that felt the crime understands the crime in their context and they live the pain. If you think about, it's Women's Month, women go through a lot of pain. If you think about someone that was sexually abused, they live through a lot of trauma that they carry. The perpetrator has done the crime. They're probably moving on. If it's a rape, then that person's not well. So they're probably looking for other women to take advantage of, right? But it's a very sensitive example, and I'm using that for a reason because you've got a perpetrator and a victim. Their lived realities are very different.
From each
Their
other.
privilege is very different. Many women have rights that were raped to say this person should be killed, right?
Because that's what they
how
feel.
bad
That's
it
the
is.
pain. That's
It's an emotional
the
response.
fair value.
Many women will say, this guy raped me, but you know what? He didn't know better. I'll forgive him. Like, you know, there's people,
get you.
people deal with trauma differently. This country has a lot of people that feel like not enough was done by the apartheid government to remedy, or not the apartheid government, but post-94, the black government to remedy the ills of the past. And what does that look like? If you think about, you own this business, right? This business is something that you built, hard work, your mind, sacrifices, boom. Next week, the president decides, you know what? All businesses that are owned by white people will be taken over by black people. Let's take that business and let's give it to black people. What happened to Zimbabwe and many other countries, and you know what the story is like there. That was an evil act that happened in apartheid. What I'm saying should happen to you or could happen to you if a president announced that. That's evil. That is not good, right? So if something like that happened decades ago, that was this evil. What is it that needs to happen today to remedy that massive evil? I think the people that have perpetrated that, I mean, we're speaking about simple examples, but people that have done these crimes are dead, many of them. Many of them are not here, and they're not here to account for those crimes. Who's left? The children, the people that came afterwards. What is it that these children and descendants need to understand about what happened and the privilege they're sitting on now to remedy the pain that has been caused to the victims? I think there's questions that a lot of privileged white South Africans need to ask about. Yes, there is a lot of privilege we've earned. That privilege was through a lot of hard work, but a legislation was signed, stroke of a pen, to say that land, property, cattle, livestock, other things will be taken from people of a particular race because of that alone, and that was okay. But people acknowledging that and saying, we need to find a way. I know some people have said there's a wealth tax, a once-off tax, whatever. I think, in my mind, that should be an individual decision. I think it's a decision that someone needs to... It's hard to say it's an individual decision because you talk about people that have a diversity of views. Some people will say, the government is taxing me, I'm doing a lot, I'm already doing enough, so I've already made up. But some people will say, you know what? We are a nation of human beings. If I am a human being that if I really do introspection and look at my privilege, a lot of it is because of the stuff that my grandparents did. And maybe
Yeah.
that farm we have was as a result of land being taken away from some black families.
Yeah.
We have a few black workers in those farms and over there. How about we apportion a portion of the farm so that they can be co-owners and we actually share the wealth with them? There's an Ipsos survey that was done, came out this month actually, globally. The biggest worry we have, South Africa is the biggest worry about this issue, is unemployment. Why? Because that's livelihood, that's provision, that's health. To buy medicine, to afford education, like you need a job, you need to provide for your family. And the biggest group or demographic that is unemployed in this country is black people. Why? Because of what we're discussing now. Skills, job opportunities. A lot of it is historic. Yes, our government has done quite a lot to try and close the gap, but it's not enough.
No, I
A lot
agree,
needs to
100%.